Hi, it's Johanna from Inner Alignment Alchemy. And today is September the 14th, 2021. As you can see, I've got my big cozy sweater on because it's cool out there. The seasons are changing. Fall is in the air. So speaking of change, today we're talking about the number 5. So 5 is about freedom, but I kind of want to bring in that change because as humans, we're not always good with change. Some of us dig our heels in, don't like it, don't want to, but it is a part of life. We go through phases in our lives. We go through ages. So I'm going to be 54 this year, holy smokes, and I'm going into another phase in my life. I'm not the same person I was in my 20s. That's okay. That's okay. Some things are better. Some things, I'd like some more energy from my 20s, but that's a whole other story. So today is about the number 5. So remember, we're going to add the day, the 14, 1 plus 5, plus the month, the 9, and the year, 2021, which is another 5. And so we've got 2 5s there. Very exciting. Comes out to 19. We add that together. That's a 10. 1. We've talked about that before, but I will come back to that. So 5s are about freedom from our family, culture, religion, our community, from our fears, from our negative beliefs and thoughts, freedom from whatever it is that is holding us back from truly being and showing up in who we are meant to be. So the flip side of the 5 is, I talked about this a couple of days ago, is I talked about these are, I can't remember the word now. Slipped my mind. It's funny, I couldn't remember it the other day, and now I can't remember that word. Distractions, that's the word I was looking for. I was also thinking about indulgences. That's not the right word I'm looking for. But anyway, it is about sometimes when we do things too much or too little. So things that take us out of being in the present moment. So that it can be drinking, it can be smoking, it can be drugs, it can be overeating, over-exercising, shopping, sex. Sometimes it can be too little. So we want to find that balance. That's that 4 we talked about yesterday, being that, finding that harmony, those 4 pillars. So the 5 is kind of like that too, because if we aren't feeling secure in ourselves, if we aren't happy, we can, I think even TV these days, Netflix, people talk about, binging. That's distraction. That's taking you out and away from being, from feeling. And oftentimes we want to numb those feelings. That's really common. And we need to be able to, like I talked about earlier, lightening the load, that backpack of all those emotions, all those things that we have collected over the years that might be weighing us down. And remember, when that backpack gets heavy, things can show up physically. I don't know if I've talked about that, but things can manifest themselves from that feeling place into holding it in our bodies. And as humans, we are great at creating dis-ease. So the 5 is about creating freedom from all of that if you are willing to do the work. So I'm just going to share a little bit about myself that around the 5. So part of my goal was, I say goal, it was like a desire to be seen and heard by my family, but in a way that I felt seen and heard. Now, they were doing it, but it wasn't how I wanted to be seen and heard. However, I would also show up at family gatherings and things almost with an agenda, with a needing to push them to see me the way that I wanted to be seen. And that didn't work. Didn't work for them and didn't work for me. And so often I would get triggered by things that they would say. But it was this, again, this push and pull that I would do things and say things, and then they would react, and it didn't achieve the balance, the harmony, the acceptance that I wanted. So by doing my work, by dealing with my feelings, I came to a place where I can now be with my family and they do what they do. I do what they do. I do what I do. And it's okay, because the biggest change is that I see myself. I hear myself. I acknowledge myself. I love myself. So it doesn't matter really what they think, because I was able to now fill that for myself. I have found freedom. I have found peace, acceptance. They are who they are. I am who I am. And that's the biggest gift for me in the work that I've done and the work that I do. Anyway, just wanted to share a little bit about that for me, because that's been a huge, it's been huge for me. It's allowed space in my life, lightness, so important. So coming back to our 9-year cycle, being in the 5th year. So I talked about year 1 being having that foundation. Year 2, we start to build on it. Year 3, take a break. You've been working really hard. Year 4, we're going to add on to that, either up or out, adding that addition on. Year 5 is a do-over year, if you want. Let's say that you've started a new business. You got your foundation, you're building, and it's not quite going the way you want. Hey, this is the year to, I'm going to knock down that addition and I'm going to build something else, or I'm going to go right back to the base and build again. If you're in a relationship and things aren't working, this would be the year to reevaluate. Do we need to go to counseling? Or is it just, this is time to move on? Your agreements have come to an end. The 5-year is really interesting because you can choose to change your situation in this year if you want. Exciting times. So bringing it back to our 9th month, the end of something to start something new. And today being that 5 and coming into that 1, starting something new. Just take today, again, feeling into, where am I out of balance? Where am I distracting myself? What are the freedoms that I want? And maybe even what are the feelings behind them that I need to address? Something to think about. Anyway, happy 5 day today, and I will continue tomorrow with number 6. Take care.